Hello everyone and welcome back. This is the Vanarama YouTube Football Manager 2017 Big Six in the Vanarama experiment. We're on episode number 13 now, and I've got to be fair. What I've said, the straddling two behind the Liverpool Man City, I talk about the cracks a lot. I get to the point now where this could be the sort of defining season to see whether they're broken, full stop. Now, could Liverpool and Man City be like Leeds, pardon me, and end up staying in the Championship for a while and working their way back slowly? Or do they have enough of them left to get back into the Premier League? Now, we said we're going to take a look at managers and teams in the last episode, so let's go through it now. So we're looking at Liverpool, and we remember, because it looks as though they got a few... Liverpool signed Alfie Mawson on a permanent now. Looks as though they got a few regens popping up now. Obviously, in 2022, you're bound to have a fair few in and amongst. So the only thing is, though, we can't really see how good they are, except by looking, of course, at their values. I mean, you look at this one now, he's looking like he's going to be their main striker, but look, he's not even that good. If Liverpool have got some money, and we're going to have a little quick look and see if they are rich. Right, so Neil Critchley is their manager right now. Whoever that is, I do not know. Let's have a little look. So, in theory, looking at him, he could be a decent manager. Continental Pro license. But if he's the manager that led them to not even a playoff place in the Championship, I mean, they only predicted to finish third this season. I mean, that's bad, isn't it? If we look at the profile of the club, I mean, I know I need a new skin. But training facilities and everything like that, it's all good. And the thing is, they're bound to still have money because they're still a massive club. They'll go back into the Championship. And then we look at Man City, who may still have some good players. Marcos Alonso, Raheem Sterling, for example. But who's Ronaldo Tavares? Just looking at their main striker is only worth 2.8 million. He doesn't look great. Another target man as well. I don't fancy Man City and Liverpool to be... Well, I fancy Man City at least looking at some of the players they've still got, like John Stones, of course, Alonso and Sterling. They've still got some good players there. Have they got the money? That's the thing. All right. Those of you who are observant enough will see the in-game editor icon there. I say I don't really use it in my own games. I say we have a look at the club details on this, and their reputation has fallen. So now we're dissecting this now. Although they do have 151 million sitting in their bank and still got some great facilities, but the reputation, because of the amount of time they've been out of the Premier League, has fallen dramatically. Thought the name itself would carry them along. 5,600 Man City. What a Liverpool. $5,994. So Liverpool is slightly more popular. Finances, so they've only got 29 million. But they've got big facilities. I don't know. I think you can fancy them both for promotion. But when they get promoted, it's going to take some doing to get them back to what they were. Will they ever get back to what they were? How about we do the same dissecting to our Premier League teams, because obviously Chelsea and Tottenham have been left behind somewhat, but Arsenal and United have recaptured. But have they fallen behind in any way? Let's have a little look. Okay, so we're in the Premier League now. And yeah, it's not something I particularly fancy doing, was showing off this little icon, but I think it's going to give us a broader overlook, looking at Tottenham first. Tottenham and Chelsea, they made it all the way back without being held back, except for in the first season, of course. So Tottenham, still relatively popular, but probably not close to what they were. But they do have a fair bit of money there. Is that 48 million? 48, well, nearly 49 million in their bank. They could probably do with a bit more than that, but they do have the new White Hart Lane Stadium now and some top facilities. So they got it there to get themselves back. They just need to have a good season, I say. Now, Chelsea, I'd imagine that their reputation is slightly better because they had a better finish. Yeah, as I thought, slightly better, or just a fair bit better actually, and 104 million in the bank. So, yeah, so basically Chelsea, I mean, look at their squad as well. They obviously spent quite big, and they've still got a really good team. So, I think Chelsea could finish top 4 this season. I think Spurs may struggle. Man United, who finished second last time round, have got a season of Champions League underneath them. Still got some good players there, mind you. But we haven't looked at any of the managers yet. But we will do that shortly. When my computer wants to catch up. There we go. So, oh, actually, not about the same as Chelsea, if anything. And only 80, is that 82? 82 million in the bank? 20. I had to work out the numbers on the set. 82 million in the bank. So, I've got a bad feeling with this that the deterioration of these teams could not be, it may not be repairable. But they have got good teams. But if the reputation of the clubs have fallen so much, well, Arsenal's not so bad. Arsenal's still quite up there with a bit of money in the bank as well. So yeah, Arsenal are still pretty up there as far as their reputation is concerned. But you look, the difference between Arsenal and Man City, that's the difference. The first two teams to get out of that Vanarama league, that was the key thing. The first two teams to make it out of that league were going to be okay. Because they still had the players and the money and the resource and the popularity to get themselves out of each league every season. It's exactly what Arsenal and Man United did. They both got promoted every season. But obviously Man City and Liverpool, it could be that they may get stuck in that championship if they don't do it this season. But it's very much a case of we got to wait and see. I mean, Arsenal's manager, and yes, I do need a new skin, still got Arsene Wenger. So, when Arsene Wenger has been highly criticised in real life on this, he's the one that's masterminded above all of the big six. He's got Arsenal back to where they were. And in a position where they could dominate English football for a long time. So Eddie Howe is still Chelsea manager, I know from the last time that we checked. I think we already checked the Man United manager, didn't we? I think it's just the Tottenham manager we need to look at now. The Tottenham manager. It's still Pochettino. Wow. Well, there we go. So guys, I mean, this could be an extended episode, this one, because we are going to obviously we got to take this to the 30th of November, but we're not going to look at any transfers just yet. We're going to save it for the end of the deadline, so that is exactly where I'll see you next. Okay then guys, so we're going to have a quick zip over the initial start that these teams have made. Man City have had an awful start. They haven't won a game in 5. Not a single one. And Liverpool have had a pretty decent start. They've won 4 out of 5 and could go top if they win their game in hand. provided Swansea don't, of course. But have a quick sip over the transfers. Man City needing to buy big. Now they have bought big, and I can't understand for the life of me why they haven't started better. This is crazy. Liverpool have barely bought anyone. Only a couple of players here and there. Having a loan from Burnley and then buy their player off them for 3.4 million. That's low. But Liverpool have started well. Man City have bought big and started absolutely appallingly. But we'll go on to the 30th of November and see how they get on. But we're going to take a quick stop in the Premier League. Okay, so only 3 games in the Premier League season, and quite surprisingly, Chelsea have started the brightest of them all. But Arsenal are in third, not far behind. Man United have won 2 out of 3, and Tottenham have won 2 out of 3. So our 4 of our big 6 starting pretty decently in the Premier League now. Let's have a quick look at what transfers they've made. So Man United are buying big, absolutely massively. Leicester are starting to buy some big. I think Leicester need to splash the cash to compete with these teams now. Now they've been dethroned. But Chelsea bought big last season. Have they needed to buy big this time? Maybe they needed to bed their squad in, and they bided their time basically. Man City have let John Stones go to Huddersfield. That could be part of why they're down where they are. But I say Man United bought big. Arsenal needed to build on their squad to keep hold of their Premier League title. Let's have a little look. Down here, Man United bought someone there, Marco Asensio from Real Madrid. And there's not been that much big business. I mean, Chelsea have brought in 1 or 2 with the looks of it. Arsenal brought in 1 or 2. Tottenham needed to bring in many, many more. Manolo Gabbiadini might be a bit old for them, maybe. But hey, look, they're making an effort. Tottenham could have done better though. But like I say, they all got decent teams, and Tottenham have got that player. And what's his bloody name again? Can't think of the player's name. The striker. What's his name? I'm gonna quickly dive into Tottenham and look at that striker, because that's the one. I think he's a regen. Oh, I gotta think. Mokoena. He's the one who I got a real 33 million already. He's the regen I think could turn out to be the one that could drag Tottenham back up into the top 4. But whether he provides the money so they can buy the players to get there, or whether he just fires them up there, remains to be seen. But I'll see you guys in the 30th of November. Okay then, guys, we're going to be wrapping this episode up very shortly. Obviously, we're just going to have a sip over what our teams are doing. But as you can see, Liverpool and Man City, they are both top 2, but it's very, very close in this Sky Bet Championship. Very, very close. But they're exactly where they should be. Man City had lost 3 of their games, and they've only lost 2 since. Liverpool losing 4, losing to Man City. But looking at it, I wouldn't be surprised if this is exactly how it turns out to be at the end of the season. It's exactly how it should be. But we'll never, not we'll never know. We'll know at the end of the season, of course, and then in the next episode. So if you want to know what happens, you've got to watch the next one. Before we go, we're going to check out the Premier League. Okay, so the Premier League is looking rather interesting. Southampton have fallen off the boil in this season, but Leicester looking to regain their crown. Will they be the team that prevails at the end of the season? I expect not. Man United, Arsenal and Chelsea have all spent big over the last couple of seasons, and you're expecting them to do well. Personally, I think United, Arsenal and Chelsea will be in the top 4 with Leicester, but Watford are in with a shade. But we'll find out in the next episode. This season will be wrapped up in that episode, and I think a broader view of exactly where this is going to go in the next episode, and pretty much we're gonna gauge how much longer we're going to continue this experiment for, because looking at it, Tottenham have got their way back into the Premier League, but at the moment, over the next couple of seasons, I got a feeling they're going to stay mid-table. If Man City and Liverpool do get promoted, I expect the same for both of them. Man United and Arsenal, the two that got up there quicker, they'll make the most of that. And Chelsea, I think because they came up with good players, I expect that they will be the ones who will be in amongst it. But I think Leicester, in the absence of the big six, have really pushed themselves forward. But there we go. That'll be the end of this episode, guys. Keep up with this series if you're interested in how it turns out. I think I've got it mapped out now, but it has been quite predictable. It's been very predictable in a lot of ways, but quite unpredictable in other ways as well. But it's good to have actually dissected it and actually had a look at what kind of condition the teams are actually in. But there we go. We'll leave it there for now. And as always, thanks very much, and we'll see you in the next episode. Cheerio for now.